Well. Welcome everyone to another show, another special, and I think it's going to be a little bit more special this evening, I have to say. How are you, Chris? Anything been going on in the world of Newcastle in your eyes in the last few days?
I'm absolutely fucking fantastic, mate. Never felt better. I'm in a bit of a dream world at the moment. I think I was just saying then pre-show. It just feels a bit surreal. I still feel like things are bubbling away. I'm waiting for Sunday. I know I'm going to wake up Sunday like it's Christmas morning. I just know it. And yeah, I'm just absolutely delighted, mate, and just so excited now.
Well, if for anyone that's been living under a rock in any part of the world, you would have missed the fact that we have gone from losing embarrassingly to Wolves one week to being the richest club on paper in the world another. And it could be only Newcastle United that could go from one extreme to the next in a matter of days. And it's been a fantastic few days. It's been a little bit surreal, if I'm honest. And I know you you mentioned about sort of Christmas morning. It does feel like Christmas waking up every day, knowing that, we don't have to worry to a point about our future of the club. Our future is secure. Our immediate future is something we'll probably get into in the course of the show. But wow, what a few days!
It's just amazing, isn't it, Pete? It feels like, me and me descriptions of things. It feels like we've been walking through these horrible woods and we're not sure what the end's going to look like. And then we've reached the end and we're now on a new path. And all we're just seeing is just everything's rose tinted, isn't it? Everything's just fantastic. And no matter what happens on Sunday, it's going to be a memorable day. Hopefully we get the result that, we all want. But even if we don't, it's just like, yeah, but we know brighter things around the corner, aren't they?
Definitely. Well, this is a celebration tonight. It's normally labelled the rant show. It is most definitely not going to be the rant show tonight. It cannot possibly be. And I don't think it's going to be a rant for quite a while now, regardless of results going forward. So, look, we've got guests waiting to jump on. We're not going to wait any longer. Let's get the first guy on, and it'll be a guy that you're familiar with. Welcome into the stage. Not going to wait any longer. Alan, how are you, Alan?
Brilliant, lads.
Come and celebrate with us. Come and talk to us about how your last 3 or 4 days have gone, and how you're feeling right now about our club.
Well, on the day, it was like Christmas, Peter, Chris. It was basically, Christmas Eve, and the few hours that I was waiting for that word imminent, I was starting to feel sickly, and I was basically but once the announcement came through, I was jumping up and down. I must admit, I was jumping up and down. For 2 years, I played hell with my wife type of thing. Why is this deal not come through? And it's eventually happened. So I'm over the moon. It gives hope and ambition, lads. It gives hope and ambition for the first time in 14 years. In some of the papers, they said Ashley's done a good thing. That he hasn't spent money, for the last 3 years, so he's left in a good sound position. I've got no sympathy, and I don't want to hear his name ever again in my life. It's like, lads, outside, they don't understand. It's like a burglar going in a house, smashing the place up, coming out, and then saying, well, I left the windows all right. And then saying, well, I left the windows all right. It's that sort of thing. I'll try and be brief tonight, lads, because I think the show will be packed. But for manager,
I was going to say, Alan, just before you carry on, I think there might be some background sound.
I know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's happening. Pete, to be honest.
Okay, carry on. Go
on. Basically, manager-wise, lads, for all the names mentioned, I would love Brendan Rodgers. Because I think Conte, I just don't think he would come where the position we are. And this is why I think, like I say, like it's a Formula One race, lads, and we're 19s. And yes, we've got a better engine, but we've got 18 other teams to pass. We've got a better engine now because we've got the money to pass them. So basically, it's going to be hard. And I think Brendan Rodgers knows the league, and I think he could organise them, because that's what we need now. The next 2 or 3 years, stability, and he knows the league inside out. Maybe Gerrard could come, but I don't think he wants the job. I think he's destined for Liverpool, as the whole football world knows. Basically, I won't go into politics too much, Chris, Pete, because all I'll say is the other 19 clubs are as jealous as hell. The top 6, I've been on loads of that podcast, Tottenham and Arsenal fans especially, and they're in meltdown. They literally are. We're not going to win. I'm thinking, hold on, lads. We've got 3 or 5 years before we even catch up to yous. We've got the infrastructure, we've got the coaches, the back room. Like I said, the building's empty, it's empty shell, and we've got to build it up. So to be honest with you, steady as it goes as far as building the club up. It really is. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. I heard Stuart Pearce saying on one blog, Newcastle fans, and I've never heard one Newcastle fan say it, all I expect we're to win the championship next year. It's just not right. I'm sorry, there's another person that doesn't really know it at all. Even though he's played for, he knows the area. That's falsely that. So Brendan Rodgers for me, Chris, I'm ecstatic. And I know, but the reason why I think the 19 clubs getting back to that point or so, and especially the big 6, is they know they're going to have to spend money to compete. And the Tottenham fans and Arsenal fans are complaining, even though we've always complained for 14 years or 20 years, we don't spend money. Their fans are absolutely livid with Kroenke and Levy because they're not spending, and they feel as though we're going to spend big. And that frightened silly about it. Really, it's just that, like I say, we've got to get over this season, because relegation is a possibility, because until Christmas we've still got the same group of players that we had for the last 7 games. And the good thing about it though, Chris Pete, if they can boost ourselves up for playing for the richest club in the world,
absolutely,
they never will. They never will. And it will show who really wants to be here and who's good enough to be here, you know, going forward. So I'm just going to celebrate, lads, and wish us all the best. I'm more happy for you, Chris, Pete. Kieran, when he's on, I think Kieran probably smiled for the first time. He's like,
I know. I hope Kieran
might have extra lighting bulbs to keep the light on all the time. So, you know, I'm happy for everybody and everybody around the world. And it's the communication with the club. Within 48 hours, lads, they've had more communication than 14 years of Ashley. And I don't know if you know, lads, but I dropped out of getting the season tickets 2 years ago. And I don't know if it's widely known, but there's been 50,000 applicants in the last 2 days. So bang goes my chance of getting a season ticket.
It's going to be impossible, isn't it, mate?
Crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. Absolutely. And it goes back to your point, Pete. If you a couple of months ago that we could get a 75,000 seater stadium, no problem.
Easy.
I really do. And if it takes off and we constantly win trophies year in, year out, but hey up, lads, it's a dream, I know, but if I'm just smiling because all the clubs around, it's a dream, I know, they're all cringing. And I'll leave it at that, lads, but
absolutely
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for everyone that watches the show.
Well, first and foremost, a fantastic celebratory speech, shall we say? Really, really well done. Touched on a lot of really good points. But first and foremost, obviously, we appreciate you saying that you're happy for us. But as me and Chris have always said, we're just fans, just like everybody else. It's in the chat, just like yourself, Alan, just like people that come on and enjoy the show. We're just fans. We're fans exactly the same as you. So we're just as happy for the likes of yourself, Alan, and everybody else in the chat, because it just means that we all have a positive future looking forward to supporting this club, and it means so much to us all, as we've all shared over the last few days. It's been absolutely amazing. Yeah, I've heard of Sunderland, but only in relation to 5-1, and hopefully many more drubbings in the future to come. But Chris, touch on the points that Alan's made. What do you make of what he's had to say?
As always, really good points from Alan. The big takeaways for me, it's definitely a slow burner, isn't it? This whole process is going to be a slow burner. We're not going to be challenging for anything next season, and nobody expects us to be. You mentioned about the managers. Funnily enough, Alan, yesterday I said my number one choice is Conte. But that may be a little bit expectant of me. But if not, I would go for Rodgers. I genuinely would. I think Rodgers would be perfect. So it would be really good if we approached him. However, I do have an open mind. I do believe the owners will make the right decision, and whoever is given the job will, well, what a job to be given and what an opportunity. But I think they'll be afforded the time and the space to be able to create a bigger and better Newcastle.
But I think they'll be afforded the time.
I would agree with that. I think you made a really good point. On a lot of things, I think Brendan Rodgers is getting a lot more talk from Newcastle fans at the moment, and he's one of those managers that very quickly he could come in and just command respect off the players. He could instantly instill a philosophy in the way in which he plays football, even with a team like ours in our current setup right now, with the playing squad, he could come in and make a massive difference straight away, and really sort of improve things. One of the things I wanted to mention with regards to Alan's points, and he touched on, is the opposition fans. He mentioned that there was a lot of talking about opposition fans, particularly Arsenal and Tottenham, and there's a reason behind that, in that they're not happy about it and they feel that their clubs are just falling further and further down the pecking order, and they're right, they are. The only thing I would disagree with Alan's point is that, and I do think he meant infrastructure and the whole building of the club, but actually on the pitch and results wise, I don't think it would take that long in terms of years to be able to build a team that was performing better than them. I don't think it would take long if we had the right manager and the right finances. It wouldn't take as long to be outperforming them. You've already looked at the likes of Leicester, West Ham, Everton currently, that are having better seasons than them, or have had better seasons than them. I don't think it would take a lot for us to outperform them, because I think they are both two clubs that have put themselves in massive debt with regards to buying new stadiums, and now are struggling financially to build this kind of squads that they need to be able to challenge again. Now, Alan made a point in terms of extending our capacity, which I think will be under discussion in the next couple of years, without doubt. And what comes with that, I think, will be that, yes, if we do improve the capacity, it won't affect us in the transfer market, because we've got the money behind us to still be able to go out there and buy the top players. So, like I say, some really, really good points there. Anything you want to finish off, Alan, before we move on?
Well, lads, like I say, it's just great. I mean, it's just fantastic even talking about all these names and the players. All I would say, lads, is on my wish list is 3 players, a centre half, a creative midfielder, and a striker in January, and we should be safe. Get the spine right, and we're halfway there to safety this year. And like I say, if we get a manager of quality, which I really would, that's the major signing. Get a manager of quality that has the vision to move the club forward. I'll let you go, lads, but I'm fantastic. I'm over the moon. For the first time in your life, I think, since the Keegan days, we've got a chance of winning the trophy in the years ahead. Take care, lads.
Very exciting, Alan. Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Yes.
And you definitely deserve one of these before you leave. Then you definitely deserve. Top man, Alan. Don't be a stranger. And,
get well soon, Chris. Get well soon, mate. Get well soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. You guys take care. You take care. Don't be a stranger. Massive thanks to Alan. Always great to start the show. Always got lots and lots to say. And he made some great points as well, didn't he, Chris?
He did. Do you know what? I was really annoyed at myself when you mentioned about the opposition clubs, and I thought I didn't mention that because that was a fantastic point. I mean, the amount of hypocrisy we've seen in the last few days has just been unbelievable, hasn't it? I mean, I can understand it. I can understand why the fans of these top six clubs are worried. I can understand why the pundits are backtracking. I completely get it. Do I love to see it? Absolutely. I love to see the panic and the worry and the concern, because if I was an opposition fan, if I was a fan of one of those other, top 5, top 6 clubs, I'd be worried. I'd be very worried, because we are now the richest. I can't even believe I'm saying it. We are the richest club in the world, and we are coming for you. It's going to happen. And I mean, even today, Pete, I was looking on the Newcastle United Twitter account, and you see Amanda and Mirdad on the training ground watching the players. The players all look like they had a spring in the step. They're all excited. They're all meeting them face to face. We're getting statements left, right, and centre. It's just what a time to be a Newcastle United fan. And I just can't believe we're here, Pete. Just can't believe it.
Mate, I 100% agree. And you know what? You've made a really good point there, because it was a point I was going to touch on before we're bringing the next guest in, is that, instantly we've seen a significant improvement in our social media activity.
Yeah, immediately.
Just the things that they're putting out, and it's the way that they're putting them out. Like, one of the things that really got to me today is obviously not just the fact that they've shown the video of Amanda Staveley and Mirdad going and visiting the players at the training ground, but then they've just recently, not long ago, an hour or so ago, put out a video on YouTube of the training, and it wasn't just pictures. No, it was actually, you got to see them close up actually training, and you could hear the talking, you could hear the coaching, you could hear the banter that's going on between them. And it was like a 4 or 5 minute clip of just pure training. And I'm just like, to some people, it might not seem like a lot, but we've been kept in the dark about a lot of stuff.
Behind the door, behind closed doors. That's how it's felt.
The whole club has been, in terms of anything being leaked out, even down to the points of training. And just seeing that today, just watching that few minute clip, I was a bit like, wow, like we are in for a bit of a ride here. Like, we really, really are. And this social media will only get better. I've got no doubts. The players coming in, the communication, the signings, whether it's a manager or whoever it is, are going to start getting better in terms of their communication with us. And it's something to really, really look forward to. But we'll move swiftly on, because we've got a few lined up, waiting. And again, our next caller is no stranger to the NUFC Matters celebration show, shall we call it. Welcome in, Andy. How you doing, Andy?
How you doing, fellas? You're right.
Very, very good, mate. Very good. So, look, this is your time to celebrate. Come and talk to us. Tell us about how your last 4 or 5 days have been. Tell us how you're feeling right now as a Newcastle United fan.
Like when we was in the Champions League with Bobby Robson, them Champions League nights where you just had that special feeling. God, it's like that again, eh?
It is.
It's just like that again. And do you remember when we played Juventus and we had Andy Griffin, Titus Bramble, Andy O'Brien, and Aaron Hughes at the back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Players like that. And then we've got Steve Bruce, 19th in the league with our players now. And people are praising him. I mean, he gets so much praise. It's like, imagine what they would have said about Bobby Robson back then. With the players he had. and yet but Steve Bruce is getting praise. Do these pundits even know what a top manager does? A good manager can make a bad team good.
Yeah.
A bad manager can make a good team really bad.
Yeah.
And we need to get rid of Steve Bruce, and then this week it'll just be one of the best weeks ever, won't it, for us?
Yeah, it will.
It
will.
And I'm hoping it's tomorrow. I definitely hope it's before the Spurs game, because we've got that much hope now going into the Spurs game. That if we go into the game with Steve Bruce, it's going to be a massive downer, right, man? The crowd are going to be on him, mate. They.
Do you genuinely think that we're going to go in with Steve Bruce on Sunday, though? What's your feelings on that?
I don't think we will, but it'll be his 1,000th game only in management. So there's always that. Do they allow him to have it? But we can't afford. We can't afford it, man.
Yeah.
We need to get points straight off now. And Tottenham are not a top team where you go into it and you think, oh, we ain't going to get something from this. So we've got every chance in going out there and spanking them with all the hope we've got. But you know what, as well, though, with Bruce, we look at our current team and we've got some good players, man, like Dubravka, one of the best keepers in the league. Jamal Lewis, Liverpool wanted. Fabian Schär has been a bit poor recently when he's played, but Steve Bruce has ruined him, mate. And then you've got Sean Longstaff, who was quality under Rafa. Yeah. You got Saint Maxi on the left. When he's in his position, I can't stand when we play him at the top. What's that about? It's poor management. Almiron on the right, good player, and Callum Wilson up front. And now you compare that to the bottom half in the Premier League. What other teams around us have got quality like that? And then you get all these pundits still praising Steve Bruce. I mean, what? He should get a chance. He should get a chance here. He should get a chance there. But we've gone 7 games in the league, 3 draws, 4 losses, and we've only played Man United, where you expect 0 points. That's when he earns the chance under these new owners.
Yeah.
Before the takeover, not after the takeover. We're not going to go the next 7 games without another win. We can't risk that. So I'm hoping that Bruce goes, and then let's go from there, man. I just want this season all about avoiding relegation this season. We've got to be realistic. Get out of this Steve Bruce rut, because he's how bad does he damage this team?
Massively.
And I think it was you, Dave. I think last time I was on, we spoke about how these players have not developed once under Steve Bruce, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like we was talking about Matty Longstaff and that. And still to this day, not one of them players has developed under Steve Bruce. I mean,
it's a great point, Andy. And you know what? I think Chris touched on it last night on the Loaded Mag show about players not improving under Bruce, but more importantly, what Chris was saying. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. He was talking about how under a new manager, how things would change instantly, how players would go up by 10, 15, 20%, and how playing under a different manager with a different philosophy would bring the best out of these players. Yeah. I mean, we've made the point for quite a while now, myself, Chris, Steve, many others. This crop of players, no matter how bad we think they are, performing under Steve Bruce, are still not a squad of players that should be currently 19th position and 3 points in the league. They are a team that should be in and around where we finished last season, 12th, maybe pushing top 10. That's what this squad of players are right now. And that's what it should be. Now, I've got no doubts that a manager coming in can first and foremost get these players playing as a team, providing that they're all fit. And then you think about what we could potentially build on in January. We should really be looking at being comfortable in the Premier League this season, and then moving forward after that.
The only trouble is, though, is we've when we appoint a new manager, is this manager is going to get big money in January. Big money. So they've got to make sure that they've got one that they want to give a couple of years. So it might take longer than we think to appoint one. I don't think I'd like Brendan Rodgers, but I don't think he'll come because when he's got a good everything's good for him at Leicester, and he had the owner died when he was there, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's probably mentally attached to emotionally attached to Leicester as well. So be a great spot. Antonio Conte, I know it's unrealistic, but I think if we get him, I wouldn't mind giving him 150 million to spend. Would you too?
No, not at all.
No,
Just imagine. Honestly, just imagine we got Conte. Like,
Oh, mate.
I think I'd be speechless for about a week. I just
Yeah.
the contrast. That's an even bigger contrast than losing Rafa and getting Bruce. To go from Bruce to Conte. Oh, unreal. But no,
go on,
sorry,
Chris,
Pete, mate. Sorry, what you say?
I was going to say, for us to even be linked with the likes
Yeah.
of Conte, Antonio
Yeah.
Conte is crazy.
Yeah.
But carry on, Chris, go on. Sorry.
No, mate, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, as you said earlier, Pete, we've got no right to be linked with Conte, have we? But the fact that we are, it's just like, it's just unreal. And I'm just going to enjoy this moment, enjoy this week,
Yeah.
and the many weeks and months to come. But I think Andy's made, some great points. And for me, we do need a new manager come the weekend. Even if it's Graham Jones. If somebody said now Graham Jones is going to be in charge for 8 weeks because they want to get the right man, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine by me. I want to see the right people come in, and I want to see that good decisions made. And I wouldn't want them to rush in and just pick someone. I mean, lots of names have been thrown out when we spoke previously with Alan there about it, and there's some names that are being thrown out that I'm not so keen on. But some that I really like. I've already said, I'd love Rodgers or Conte, and there's many other names that I'd like. I mean, Mourinho's been talked about. I'd love Mourinho. I won't go into the ball, but it's just nice talking like this, though, isn't it? I can't stop smiling. Just even talking like this is just crazy.
Yeah.
And
Class,
yeah.
man.
But Andy, listen, it's been great having you on, mate.
I was going to say, Andy made a point about obviously where we're at right now, Chris, in terms of looking at sort of safety, obviously securing ourselves in the league. How does that look? How does that look to you, Chris, in terms of where you see us or where you think we're going to sort of pan out now that we've got new owners?
Well, do you know what? Touching on the point that you just made, that I'd said earlier, Pete, I expect to see improved performances from these players. Yeah. New manager or not, you're going to get an extra 10-15% out of them. Andy made a great point when he was saying that the players aren't as bad as what people believe or what the media will have you believe. I mean, the way they talk about Steve Bruce, it's like he's managing an under-10s team, and the players are absolute shite, which is unbelievable. I think if you just gave Graham Jones these players, we could easily finish above 12 if we had a decent manager in. Whether it be Graham Jones looking after the team temporarily till the new manager comes in, or whether we got a new manager tomorrow, I think a lot of managers out there would get a tune out of these players. For me, this season, I'd take 12 foot above. I mean, realistically, I'd take 17 foot above. I just don't want to go down. Yeah. But I think it's a realistic target to believe that we can match. We came 12th last season, didn't we? Yeah. I think we can match that. We could even better it. But the main thing for me is just to get to January, get a couple of new players, 2 or 3. I don't want to see a big overhaul. Obviously, if we get one, I'm not going to complain. But I would quite happily bring in 2 or 3 major players. Major improvements is more so. I'm not expecting to spend 60 million per player. It won't happen. We've been linked with James Tarkowski, and he's meant to be available for a nominal fee because his contract runs out at the end of the season. Right. That's the kind of player we're after. If you bring in a few of them and then get a couple of marquee signings, there's no reason why we can't get towards the middle of that table. No reason at all.
No, I agree. It's just I just think it's be very bad. How bad Bruce has managed him. I think that they'll take a little while to get out of that. Like, yeah. So yeah, it's been nice talking anyway, fellas. All right.
Oh, mate.
Absolutely spot on, Andy. Always a pleasure. Feel free to come back at any point and share your thoughts. It's been great to have you back on. You can't go without me playing.
All right. All the best, fellas. All right. All the best.
You too, mate. Take care.
Always a pleasure to have Andy on. Not his first time on the show, and made some good points again, Chris.
Pete, to be honest, mate, I was just loving the Christmas jumper. I don't know whether it's because he feels like it's Christmas. The comments are going wild about the Christmas jumper. He looked cozy. He's happy. We're all happy. I feel like getting me Christmas jumper on myself now.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's like Christmas morning every day now.
Yeah.
So why not wear the Christmas jumper if you think it's Christmas Day every day?
Every day. Sunday, might have to whack mine on, get me hat and all that.
You know what? I've got my Newcastle one upstairs. I should have worn it today. If I knew Andy was wearing it, put it on. Okay, but maybe next week, maybe the week after.
Yeah.
Let's get the trend going. There were anything in the comments.
Do you know what we've had a few? I'll be honest, Pete. I've just been pinging the comments up. It's so positive. Everyone's just buzzing. People are talking about managers. I'm sure we'll get to it. I'm just conscious. You know, we're getting inundated with guests, aren't we? Which is fantastic. People want to come on and have their say. So I'm literally pinging through the comments. Anyone at home, if I'm just skipping questions being asked, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get through everyone's comments. We're being absolutely inundated, which is fantastic. And I just want to make sure your comments got on there. And I'm sure at some point we will hopefully answer any questions that you've got along the way.
No problem at all. So there's some regulars in the chat. Yano's there. QNTV, who jumped on to Loaded. Krasim the other week. Last week, in fact, he's in the chat. Some of the regulars are in there. Chris McCarthy, Keith Roll, Statman Keith, Colin Wilson. They're all in there. They're all in there. We're all celebrating, and we're going to continue the celebrations because we've got someone else waiting for us. Welcoming him in. We've got Thomas. Welcome.
Yeah, Arit.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Good.
Come and talk to us then. Your celebration. How you feeling?
Absolutely buzzing. Absolutely. Am I Arit on the camera?
Yeah.
You got me. You good?
Right, neighbour. But we're just absolutely buzzing, like absolutely ecstatic. Like I'm like literally driving me like family in the band, basically. It's like funny because it just like it's from like probably it's like I don't know if it's you're used to or not, right? But I feel like it's like we're being like like in the January windows, like we'll probably if we're lucky we'll probably get Joe Willock, but have to break the rules to get them. Then now we're probably going to get being linked with Raheel still, and I was like, what the hell kind of thing. I know what the deal's done, I know that, but it's like me personally, I don't know if you used to, but I'm like, what the effing what the hell's happened kind of thing. It's like
It's mental.
I don't want to wake up ever again. I do not. I want to rather be in conscious mode. I don't want to wake up again. So I don't know how you feel about it. That's how I feel.
Chris.
Again.
It is. It's like being in a dream, isn't it, mate? It absolutely is. And the way you've described it there, Tommy, is right. It's you've gone one day like I was describing it to my friends, not yesterday, the day before, and saying, in the last window we were going, I hope we get Hamza Chavi on loan. But we can't afford the 1 million loan fee. And now it's like, no offense to Hamza Chaudhry, but if we want to buy him, we'll just buy him. We're not going to be loaning anyone, I don't think. We're just going to buy people.
It's like I have Chowley and Tillsman and probably Vardy, please. I mean, it's like what the hell?
Yeah, you go back to the summer. We lost out to Axel and Davey, from Man United because we couldn't pay the 5 million loan fee. Like now, we just
like chicken feed.
Yeah, we go out and buy them straight out the bat. You know,
I know, it's just like
madness.
I know me personally, I know, and probably used to as well. I know all the deal's done, but sometimes, like, is it real? Is it real?
Yeah. Is someone going to pull the rug from under us or go, we're only joking?
Am I the only one for a split second? I want to get your thoughts, Tommy and Chris, as well. Is that like obviously the deal went through, we were celebrating, we were so happy, and then it came up on Sky Sports or it came up on in the news outlet that the 90 clubs are going to have this meeting and they're going to complain or whatever about the deal. And for a split second, did any of you think they might take this away?
That's the only thing I've been worried. Yeah, that's the only thing has been stewing me the last couple of days is all them going to take that away from us. My mum, my cousins, and all that. I'll say, no, man, calm down. It's the deal done. I said, I know, but I'm just so scared. because I always feel like this way for like as long as I support Newcastle. There's always Sunken behind Sunken, and now it's like complete like everything's literally going to be all right. It's like I just
What
can't
do you
believe
think,
it.
Chris?
I
Did
don't
you have
know.
that feeling?
I know what you mean, yeah. And then all these
Yeah.
reports are coming out, aren't they? Going, oh, they're going to look into it and they want to check this and check that. But boys, I think the deal's done. I think it's done, and I think it's just
Done.
bitterness and it's just anger and yeah, it's all hot air in my opinion.
Yeah. Like
That's
me,
about
I'd say
God, I hope to God that's right.
Yeah.
yeah. Like me personally,
God.
it is right. But in my eyes, they weren't doing like that. They weren't like that last 18 months when they were all like sleeping together in the sleeping bag. All the 19 clubs. I mean,
Yeah.
so what has changed now? Because it's jealous and it's not them. I mean, I was
Yeah.
absolutely livid when Man City got took over years ago. But I mean, if you want to
Gotta
prove
get on with
yourself,
it, haven't
prove
you,
it on
mate?
the pitch. Get on with it. I mean, it was the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
We deserved it. We deserve the luck now because we've made Ashley for 14 years. So that's it. That's my rant over. But
Can't argue with what you said, Tommy, at all.
yeah,
and I agree with Chris. And I want to say categorically that they cannot take this away from us. So,
No.
you know,
thank you for coming up because I've been driving
apologize
me.
to anyone in the chat or anyone watching this that maybe thought
Yeah.
that there was a chance of that happening. It's
Yeah.
not happening. We
No.
are
I'm-
the richest club in the world.
Yeah, but like that's like me because I'm OCD and all that. I mean, OCD. My mum's like, bloody calm down now, because my OCD's like high and all that. And it was getting high the last couple of days because it's like, and my cousin's like pacing the floors, and it's like, stop it, like thinking. I was like, it's just been so funny, and
Oh, mate.
but I just do not want to wake up. It's just like, but I like me personally, I got a feeling. I just feel it in my gut. It's not. You don't need to believe it yourself, but I feel in my gut it probably Conte. I just don't know. I got a feeling it's gonna be Conte
I hope your
or
feelings right, mate.
or Frank Lampard. I
Mm.
don't know, but I just got a feeling. I may be completely wrong, but that's my
I hope
opinion.
you're not. I've got to be
I
honest.
know.
Yeah.
And I know
I'd
Chris
take either,
feels
to
the
be
same.
fair. Yeah.
It's like having like a sirloin steak and have like a Happy Meal. I mean, it's like one
Yeah.
thing with another. I mean, it's just no comparison. So me personally, I cannot wait to see all the pundits squirming again and like licking horses and all that. I just cannot wait. It'd be so funny.
Definitely, they will be. It won't be long. You know, I've mentioned it before. You know, they are very much biased to the top teams in terms of the type of media that they provide them. I think we're going to see a little bit on Sunday of what we're going to be in store for in terms of Newcastle. It's particularly on Sky. I think the day is going to be devoted to us with a 4:30 kick. It's at St James's Park with the first game under the new owners. I think we're going to get the type of coverage that we're going to start to expect from a team that are going to be building, and the trajectory is going to be going up in terms of where they see us in the league. So it's going to be really interesting.
Sorry. Carry on.
No, go on,
I was just saying, but what would be funny, right? Would be like what I'm saying. I would just because I'm like nitpick all the thing. I'm like an investigator kind of thing, like just like all you basically, right? But I was listening to Talk Sport because I just like watch Talk Sport because I think Simon Jonathan's funny in a funny way. I mean, what I'm meaning, I mean, like can't like talk poo sometimes. I mean, so
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
so funny.
it was ironic, wasn't it? When because everyone was playing the videos and going, "This takeover, it's deader than a dead thing from Dead Land or something."
Yeah,
and then the next day,
it
it's
was.
like, "Yeah, the consortium's confirmed."
Confirmed. It's just so funny. It's like I
It
don't like
was
these
amazing.
it was so class, and like I was reading back again on the Nella one, right? And do you remember what Amanda Sleevey says on one of the interviews with Simon Jordan? I will see yous all at I welcome yous
Yeah.
all back in James's Park. I meant.
Mm.
What's the next
That was
game?
that was on the day of the protest in London.
James's, yeah. But what's the next game?
Yeah.
St James's Park at home at St James's Park. You couldn't even write it. It was them ones who stopped the deal, the Spurs. So I just cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
I don't know about you two, but I cannot wait.
Exciting, mate. Very
Very
exciting.
exciting. Definitely. But Tommy, I'm
Neil,
going to have
thank you for having me on. Thank
no
you.
problem at all. Absolutely
Right.
quality. And again, you deserve one of these. Top man. Hope to see you on there soon. Thanks for coming on tonight. Take care, Tommy.
See you later. Ciao.
Take
See ya.
care, mate. Do you know what? That I'm just going to quickly ping that on because it just made me laugh from Baker Boy. Just think last week we were linked with Chris Wilder, now we're talking about Conte.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, obviously,
It's bizarre, isn't it?
I've been kind of like banging the drum with regards to Eddie Howe as being that manager to come in, and like instantly in a second it's kind of like disappeared because the managers that we're looking at now are just significantly better than him. That could come in and regenerate the team and build us for the future. So he's not even in the conversation now, where he was kind of like odds on for a long period of time. It's crazy how it's all changed in a matter of days as well. It's literally days. But I'm just going to run through some sponsors really quickly.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Spider VPN. The go-to guys for all your internet needs. Very popular, and it certainly worked with mine and Chris's internet, and I think Kieran's lighting as well has improved from Spider VPN. So I think they're working wonders at the moment in keeping them going. But yeah, get involved with Spider VPN. You got Skips and Bins, easy, contract-free, and pay-as-you-go waste collection. Website, www.skipsandbins.com. For all email inquiries at skipsandbins.com. Telephone number 0800-2545-253. And Sir Bobby will never, ever let you down, as you can see, bottom right-hand corner. We've got L&G Family Funerals Directors for all your needs in the family's time of need. Go to 0191 389 7245. We've also got John Justice Allen's Q-Tech shop for all your pool tables and snooker table needs. Go to qtechshop.co.uk. We also have Jab Signature, who have launched their new gear. If you've seen Steve Rafe out and about or on any shows recently, you'll know he's been promoting the new gear that has just launched. So give Jab Signature a look. Plenty of stuff out there of interest. You can always watch Steve if you're not watching it on YouTube, on iTunes and Spotify. So get involved there. We've got the Christmas NUFC Matters Night, November the 19th at 7 p.m. That's at the Tyneside Irish Centre, so there's still tickets available. Get yourself a ticket. Come and join some of us who will be there celebrating our first time as a Matters team together. Come and join. Super Mac will be there as well, and it should be an absolute cracking night. We cannot go through the sponsorship without mentioning our very own Loaded Mag, 1,000 subscribers achieved yesterday. On YouTube. Thank you for your support. We're still learning, still growing, still early on in our progression, but the support has been amazing, and lots in the chat tonight are a big reason why we have been such a success so far, and we have not stopped there. We've got more to come, haven't we, Chris?
We absolutely have, mate. Yeah, really exciting guests lined up, and bigger and better shows. That's what we're open for, Pete, isn't it?
Definitely. So for any interest, go onto YouTube, Loaded HQ, look for the Loaded Mag shows, and there'll be plenty more coming very soon, to keep an eye out from that. But right, back to the calls, because we've still got guys waiting, and this guy doesn't need any introduction. He's one of the Matters crew, isn't he? He's one of the Match Day Live specialists.
He is.
He'll always make you laugh. I'm looking forward to this celebration. Welcome in.
Hello.
Hey,
Come on.
boys, we're there. We're finally there. It took 14 years, but we got there eventually. We
Did
crossed
they?
the deserts, and now we have the oasis. We are going to enjoy our money. Okay, I don't even like money guns, but we need money guns in Newcastle now. Just walk around and be like, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. No more Ashley. Can you imagine? Last week we were like, I think
Oh,
2 weeks ago, oh my God, we need to get a loan. Maybe we can beg Man United for some players. Now we're like, Marcia, you. Can we have Perez back? Thank you very much. What do you want? Take Steve Bruce, take 8 million and go. Take it and go. We don't want you. Can you imagine? I have friends from Nigeria calling me like, oh, Newcastle is now a club now. I'm like, we don't want you. If you went suffering with us, don't come now. Okay? Can you imagine looking at Conte from no. We've been waiting this long. And guys, I've been waiting for these zebras because we said we're gonna get the zebras on when this thing comes. So we're waiting. We're still waiting. But it's
I know.
amazing. It's amazing. I'm like, I was dancing at the tube station in Finsbury Park when I heard the news. And no one could understand because, like, I don't think there are many. I literally walked in Finsbury Park tube and I was like, yes, we are there. I thought that people probably think I'm crazy, but who cares?
it was just unreal, wasn't it, Babbo? Just unreal, mate. The feeling.
Oh Lord, I was like, someone would think I was the one that bought the club, which I kind of feel like I just did for some reason. But it's amazing. We have people that are invested in getting an outcome rather than just, let's just make it past the season. But one thing I keep having a fear about is I don't want to lose the soul of the club. I want the club to still be what it is, right? I don't want it to be this mercenary collection of players. So one thing we need is we need sustainable management where the club can run itself, where we don't have to be waiting on someone else's pocket, because that we already went 14 years of that and we don't want that anymore. And we need a good coach. We need a coach. As I think Alan was the one that said it, like, we all our players just regressed over the last 2 years. And I feel bad for Bruce, but I mean, you had 2 years to kind of show us what you got. Now is when money has arrived. That's when you're like, oh, let me now show you what I can do. It's not good, but I think he needs to go. Maybe we can just give him the 1,000 game and just be like, you know what, Bruce, you've done your time. You might have not been the best manager, but you did something. Let's just let him celebrate that 1,000. And as soon as he's done, you hand him his check, poop, and you go, thank you, out. It's fine. But guys, we definitely need to do one match day where we just have drinks, because right now we are no longer doing therapy sessions for our games.
It's gonna be weird, isn't it? It's gonna be so weird, mate. We're just gonna be like, next time we do match day live, we're all just gonna be sat there smiling.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Can you imagine with match days where even like, oh, okay, we've conceded one. It's okay, we can concede two as long as we don't get to three. Now we're like, it's okay. January comes in, we went from Chowdhury to Icardi. I'm not sure any club has done that in the last couple of years. Just Hamza Chowdhury? Yeah, no. Mario Icardi, come on. Who else are we looking for? Like, it is insane. And rightly so, most of us can't believe it, because if you've been fighting for something so long, when you actually get it, you're like, please don't wake me up now. Just let me sleep a little bit more, get past to January, because now January we're just looking at strikers. No more Dwight Gill. I'm sorry, Dwight Gill, if you ever see this. It's not a personal attack on you, but you just ain't cutting it no more. I'm sorry, but now Callum Wilson looks like a second choice striker or a third choice striker. I never imagined that would happen.
It's crazy, isn't it, mate? Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I have this one question. Who do you think is actually gonna stay in that squad in the next 3 years? Like, after 3 years, who do you think will still be in that squad that's in there today?
It's a great question.
Go on, Chris.
Pete, sorry, I just jumped in, didn't I, mate?
No, go for it. No, go for it, mate.
If you were to say to me now, who would I want to still see at the club in 3 years? It won't take me long. I'd say Dubravka,
Okay.
Manquillo as a backup, because I think he's useful for the right and left. I'd like to say Fernandez, but in 3 years, I think he'll be finished.
Yeah.
I would say Willock, Sean Longstaff, Miggy, Saint, and Wilson. But again, Wilson will probably be a bench player, squad player in 3 years' time, which I never thought I'd hear myself say. But he probably will be.
Our God and Savior is now our third straight striker.
Crazy, mate. It's absolutely crazy. And you know, to add to a point that you made earlier, Babbo, the mad thing is, and don't anyone take this the wrong way, but I was thinking to myself, you know, obviously we want to stay up this season, don't we? We want to progress, we want to kick on. But this sounds weird, but do you know, and this shows how much hope that we've got now as a fan base. Even if we were to go down this season, and I'm not for 1 minute suggesting we will or that I want us to, but even if we were to go down, we've still got that hope. We know that the brighter times are ahead.
You know how insane
for 1
it
minute,
is
I don't
that-
want to go down. But
Look.
if we did, you'd just go, okay, not what we planned, not what we wanted, but we've got owners who want to get us out of trouble. They want us to build.
And you can say that because you know there is a possibility that even if we go down, we are coming up, right? Yeah. If we were to go down under Ashley, there was no sign that we'd come back. It just we'll just keep moonwalking into League 2. So it's nice now that we have that.
I was going to say, because if we did, and I agree with what Chris is saying, I've personally got no fears that we're going down. I don't think we will. Not now. If you'd have asked me 7 days ago, I probably would have said, yeah, there's a great chance. There's a 75, 80% chance we're going down. Now, for me, there's 0 chance we go down. I don't believe we will. But like Chris said, in the eventuality that we did, I think 1 or 2 things that would happen. 1, we would retain all the players that we want to retain. I don't think we'd lose anyone because financially we could keep hold of them and keep them for at least 1 championship season. And 2, I believe we'll go straight back up, just like you guys have said. So for that reason, that just takes any worry. And you guys will know, and everyone in the chat will know, that you've always got that little worry, that little bit of stress on your shoulders about Newcastle and how we're going to fare in or how we're going to get on in any season. For me, that's all gone now. I can actually look at Newcastle with absolute relief and with my eyes wide open with regards to what's going on and not have any worries whatsoever, because I think that we've got owners that are meticulous, that I think are very decisive in the decisions that they make. They don't rush things, as we've already seen with the manager and getting a new manager in. They're taking their time, so that when they make that decision, it's the right decision. And I think a lot of that comes from the PIF, because PIF work in exactly the same way. They are very meticulous. They are very, decisive when they make the decisions on their investments. And you've seen of who they've invested in the last 18 months. When we've been waiting for them to invest in us, you've seen the likes of Disney and Carnival cruises and various other things that they've invested in. And they've been very smart in their business. And I think we're going to see a lot of that with regards to the club. So I'm quite patient with it. In what they're going to do, because I believe and I trust that they're going to make the right decisions. So it's all looking good, mate.
Oh, finally. I feel like it's my birthday, but before I leave, right? Once the transfer window opens, every Newcastle fan is going to be livid, because we're going to be inundated with so much transfer news. We won't know what's real. Before, we were waiting for Willock, that we actually knew was the only person we could get. We're still waiting for him, and we're like, oh, now they've taken the magic out of signing someone. Now we don't even know who we're going to sign, because everybody is getting linked with Newcastle now. Oh, yeah.
Babbo,
Pundits that...
just imagine how busy our printer or fax machine or whatever you want to call it. Imagine how many
Man,
agents are going to be
we're
going,
gonna
do you want this player? Do you want this player? Do you want this player?
we're gonna have to make a new rainforest, basically.
World class players are going to be getting their agents to push them this way. I mean, we've already been linked with the likes of Coutinho and Gareth Bale and various other players. I'm not saying he's world class, but people like Anthony Martial and various other players that have been linked with us have been throwing them on. We need to, as a fan base, get used to this because this is going to happen with every player. You know for a fact that we're not going to sign Mbappe or Haaland in the summer. But you can guarantee that our names are going to be put alongside PSG, Man City, Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona. All of those teams, you're going to then have Newcastle United there as well. And you know what? You know what? It's really weird because that's an amazing feeling to have. We know we've got no chance of signing those players. Those players are not going to come to us. We don't play in Europe. We're not playing Champions League at the moment. We're not even guaranteed we're going to stay in the league, although I think we will. But just to be put alongside them, and we will, for a lot of these players, right? It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
You see how crazy it is for a club that people were saying have unrealistic expectations. Right now, we don't even want to win the league, or we just want to actually compete, which is actually very sad that even being the richest club in the world, the fans are just like, finally, we can compete. We can actually. Right, so now I want to see what all these pundits are gonna say because everyone's gonna start moonwalking and saying, yeah, they always had it. They were a good fan base, blah blah blah, and now you start to see everybody start to slowly backtrack.
Oh, they love us now. Love us now.
Oh, I heard Darren Bent today on Sky Sports going like, oh, they can sign this person, they can sign that person. Angola was like, oh, you can do it. I'm like, where were all of you when we were complaining and going through the chapters? Oh, Bruce is a good manager. Bruce is a good manager, but not in the Premier League.
Bruce is a good manager in League One.
Yeah, that is fine. Yeah,
he's not a great manager in League One. He's not an outstanding manager in League One. He's just a good manager.
He's a good man, and that's one thing I felt like no one understood. We're complaining about. We're not like we want you to be challenging for. We just like you finished with 12 with these players before. Right? You got a transfer window, you got a striker, you got a midfielder, you got people in. And now you're complaining the players that finished 12th aren't good enough to finish 12th. You've already proven that they can finish 12th. So it's either you don't know how to manage, and then he went, we're using Benitez tactics because they only knew how to play 5 at the back. And I'm like, so you finished 12th because you were using someone else's tactics? Or like, now we're looking at Conte. Like, I've watched Conte win a lot of stuff around the world, and I'm like, I don't even think that would be a problem because that man can make this current set of players look extraordinary. Like,
I think a lot of managers could do that, Babo. Yeah. I think a lot of managers can come in and do that. Pretty much anyone other than Bruce.
Now the pundits and the players are like, oh yes, if they get a good manager. I'm like, last week you were like, oh, these players aren't good enough, but it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to match day. I'm not even expecting us to win. I just want to see the players on the pitch. I'm like, you deserve to be that. You suffered, Bruce, for that long. It's time for you to shine. We'll wave you off. Huh? I almost salute Dwight Gale. I'll be like, Gale, come on. Take your last stand. Thank you. Just as soon as the season is over, just pack your bags, take your money, and go. Make your money, man. Make your money, but you ain't staying in that team. So you guys have a lovely night.
Oh, nice one, Babo.
We'll see you on match day.
Couldn't leave Babu without that.
No.
Absolute top corner, back of the net celebration as always. Always good with his speeches and some great points as well made from Baba. I just wanted to go to one comment because
go on.
It has been something that's been talked about, particularly today. And
Is it to do with the Sports Direct signs by any chance?
No, there's that, but then there's this as well. When I was today and said that he's not happy at PSG, he's only started, I think, 4 or 5 games over the course of the season. I'm not being funny. PSG's midfield's not great. He should be starting in that midfield. I'm sorry. Bring him home. bring him
Go
home.
get our boy. Go get
Hey,
our boy.
Come bring him home. If he's not happy,
Oh, mate.
they ain't going to want a lot of money. They got him for free. He's 30 years old, bags of experience. Come bring him home and let him build a squad with us. We'd be more than happy to have him back. So I just wanted to make that point out there.
That's great.
But
great.
I think there was another comment as well about the Sports Direct signs. I think one of the journalists had mentioned that they'd spoken to Amanda Staver. I think it might have been George Colkin that said that there is an agreement with Ashley that they are going to stay up for the time being, that they're not going to get taken down just yet. So it might, we don't know what that time scale is, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 month, 2 months. We don't know. But they are going to stay up for the short term, and then I think they'll just rip them down and chuck them away. But it might well be using them whilst they secure another sponsor, because one of the things that Sports Direct did is basically take up the majority of the sponsorship through his own company. So we actually don't have an additional sponsor to put there, and so I'm just a little bit unsure. That might be a reason why, but I just wanted to put those comments out there. Just because, especially the One Alden one, because it'd be a fantastic signing for us in January.
Oh, mate. I mean, Toombarmy, everyone's got different opinions, haven't they? But Toombarmy says never rated Genie for us or Liverpool. Something's just off with him for me. And Toombarmy, obviously, fully entitled to your opinion, mate. But I personally, and by the sounds of it, Pete agrees, I personally think if we were to get Genie Van Alden back, not only did he speak very highly of his time at the club, but I think we'd have a real player on our hands. You've got a Champions League winner there. Do you know what I mean? You've got somebody who has done it. He's done it in Holland. He's now done it in the Premier League. He's at PSG. And I think you're right, Pete. I don't even think it would take much money to entice him away from them. And because he's been here before as well, and he'll obviously see the project, I think Genie would jump at it if we went for him in January.
He's won everything. He's won everything he needed to win in the game. He's won the top titles. He's won the Champions League. He's one of those guys that wanted a challenge. He could have stayed at Liverpool. Liverpool wanted to keep him, but he's gone because he wanted a challenge elsewhere. And what better challenge has he got than a project to rebuild Newcastle United, a team that he left after just 1 year, a team that he didn't want to leave. And he said,
no, he didn't want to, did he? No.
It was only because we got relegated that he actually wanted, that he actually had to leave effectively, because he was too good for us in the Championship. But for him to come back and basically it would be classed as unfinished business.
Yeah,
to build us up, it would be a perfect move. Whether things materialise in the next month or two, and he starts getting games with PSG, will remain to be seen. But he'd definitely be a player that I'd be looking at if he was available. But right, I know we're pushed for time, myself and Chris, but we've got a few guests still waiting, so we're going to get them on now. So welcome in, Jeff. How are you, Jeff?
I'm fine. Yeah, good to see everybody.
Brilliant, Jeff. So
yeah,
this is a celebration today. We're happy. We've got new owners. How are you feeling right now after the last 4 or 5 days? And where do you think we go next with regards to Newcastle United?
Well, I think I came on here the other night, but I can't remember what I said. Well, I think they've made a right decision buying the club. Well done them, because they're buying into us, into our fan base. And the whole point about being a fan of Newcastle is we're not into each other's class, race, hair color, anything like that. It's got nothing to do with that. That's why we're fans. We're not getting involved in that. So I'm getting up a petition to boycott The Guardian fairly soon, I think, probably. In terms of a new manager, I thought Tom Conti would be a good acting manager for a while. He's Scottish and he's a very good actor. And we've been used to managers who've been acting like managers for a long time. And exchanging tappy-lappy football for tippy-tappy football would be really quite an advance. But I'm concerned about mental health for everybody, of course. After the victory, we all have to get round to mourning the dead on the way, because we've lost a few on the way here. Yeah. But more than that, I've been rationing myself with Newcastle. A couple of hours a day, max, maybe 2 hours on match day. Come on here, then just don't have anything to do with it. Because it's all horrible, bad news. Now it's going to be all horrible good news, right? We're just going to be bombarded with mindless feeding frenzy. There's going to be blood in the water. The world's going to be full of experts on Newcastle, celebrity fans. God knows what's going to be coming out of the water. It's going to be mad. So I reckon an hour a day. Just sign up for one of these podcasts and that'll do you, right? And then just put it away and you might survive, because I don't think I can take the happiness. It's getting quite difficult. In terms of who we should buy, speaking as a minority group, as a dyslexic, I would like fewer players with lots of consonants. That get really difficult, you know. So nice short names, not too many consonants. Diversity of hair color would be good. Maybe wearing hats would be helpful for some of us. Jeff Hendrick could play, I think, in a straw hat. It's just so I can identify the players. If they all look the same, it gets really difficult. It's only Shelby you can recognise, which is probably why he gets all that stick, really. He'd be good with some insect antennae, I always thought. You know, see him bouncing along with those. Very intimidating. Apart from that, I'm not sure where we're going to go in the future, but I know we could afford it. You know, I think we could have signed Tyson Fury up front if we wanted to. It'd be a nightmare to mark, I think. So, you know, all bets are off, really. And I'm looking forward just to the atmosphere more than anything else. I don't care if we win or not. But I want to see the players make an effort. That'd be nice. Right. And I want to thank everybody who's been keeping it together. Steve, Keith, all you guys, keeping us all sane. Thank you very much. I'm about as sane as I'm ever going to be, I think.
Do you know what, Jeff? That's one of my favorite bands there, mate. I love that. But no, it's really nice what you're saying, and I think the biggest point I'm going to take from that, Jeff, is you saying about you know, the pundits and things and it being a bit unbearable. And I do take your point, because I think you're going to see a lot of U-turns, which I know has been mentioned previously, and we're going to see a change in dynamics and a change in opinions, and that is frustrating, really, because we see through that as Newcastle fans. We know what their original opinion was. We know what they think of our club and what they think of us, but they're going to have to kind of smile through gritted teeth, and it's going to hurt some of them. And
it's going to be nice to be able to watch Match of the Day, you know, not having to wait to the end. That's going to be one of the biggest bonuses we have to thank them for.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, we're probably going to be quite high up on Match of the Day now,
I would agree.
which should be something.
We are.
And one word against Gerrard as manager. No offence, but the place would be just teeming with Scousers if that happened. And we know where that'll lead. You know, Long Bent will be up in bricks. You know, it'd be terrible. Anyway, so I think a foreign manager, preferably one who speaks English, would be good. Swiss, Italian, yeah. Somewhere where
Do you think Premier League experience is important, Jeff, or would you just want to see? You'd like a foreign manager, but you know, you're not too concerned about the Premier League experience.
Well, it does restrict your choice, doesn't it? You know, we'll come back to talking about the special one, who I don't think is quite as special as he used to be. And I mean, I do appreciate that, but I think we want someone who could build. It's a sort of getting the age range right, really, isn't it? Getting somebody who's not too young, not too old, grow with a club. But we want someone who, you know, Conte sounds good. Yeah. It's nice dark hair as well. I like that. Yeah. We've tried all sorts of other hair colors that haven't worked. It's a bit like the England manager. You know, we've tried every hair color. Foreigners who speak English, foreigners who don't speak English, grey hairs, dark hairs, bald guys. It's never really worked out. And now we've got a young guy with a suit, waistcoat. So perhaps we should be looking at somebody with a waistcoat. That may be the way to go. Yeah.
If there was any player that you would want us to sign in January, which one stands out for you, Jeff?
I'd take Harry Kane. I think. Yeah. I think I'd take it. Yeah. He could substitute for Wilson. Yeah. We need someone who can score goals. That's basically, if we can score some goals, we'll be all right. And that's all that matters in the next few months, is scoring some bloody goals.
Isn't it lovely as well, Jeff? The way, you know, like the way you phrase that, the way you were like, "Yeah, we'll take Harry Kane."
Yeah.
Imagine saying that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Hotspurs, Northumbrian name. There's a connection there, you see. Harry Hotspur.
I think Harry Kane would be interested, mate.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now. But maybe he will see it as a project, and he'll think, do you know what, this club's going forward. He wants to stay in the Premier League. Imagine breaking the Premier League goal scoring record at Newcastle.
Yeah, that would annoy somebody. We should mention, but
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
yeah.
It would only annoy him if it meant he didn't sort of win anything. But I think if Harry Kane was the guy that was scoring the goals to break Shearer's record that won as a Premier League or a trophy, I think he'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah, he's going to get his bar back anyway, so that'll be all right.
I hope so. I hope so.
And his statue, right in front of the stadium and not round near the bloody toilets off of the farm.
I look forward to serving beer in there later on. Yeah.
Definitely. Jeff, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
More than welcome back anytime. And you take care. But before you go, you definitely deserve one of these.
Bye, everybody. See you at Christmas.
Yeah, with your jumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care,
Take
Jeff.
care, Jeff. Thank you very much, mate.
There's something a little bit different there. I like that.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know about you, Pete, but I was kind of like on me toes. I was a bit like, what's Jeff got to say here? And I was thinking, I didn't know what to expect, but I love it. Absolutely love it. I thought Jeff was a great guest.
And I love how casual he was like, yeah, we'll just get Harry Kane. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Let's just get him. It was great, really great to hear. But some great guests tonight, and we've got another one on the way. We've got a new guy. Let's bring him in now. Rohan, welcome in. How are you?
Hi lads, can you hear me?
Hello, mate.
Yeah,
fine, mate.
Fine. So look, we're now the richest club in the world. What have your 4 or 5 days been like since that? And how are you feeling right now about the future of this club?
Well, I've had a cold come along. I must be allergic to all the money that we've got now.
I love it.
But seriously, like it just really hasn't sunk in for me. Not yet. And I'm going to the game on Sunday, and I don't think it will even set in until like we sign some new players, maybe a new manager. And it's like I think if like the owners come out on the pitch on Sunday, that'll be like the best thing ever. I think that will get the crowd going, ready for the game. I'm not sure if it will happen because who knows, there might be a pitch invasion at some point, but who cares?
They'll all just come on hugging them, won't they? They'll just be hugging.
Just like a massive thank yous. Like there'll be a chant of thank yous at some point in the game. There's bound to be.
Yeah.
They've literally saved the club, haven't they? Look, our club, you know, going back to the Wolves game, and it's been well documented. The fans, the club was on its knees, on the floor even, and from going to that to being able to think so widely to the point where Jeff was quite casually saying, "Yeah, we'll go and get, 100 million plus Harry Kane, like if we need a striker that's scoring goals." And we're talking about Gini Wijnaldum, who, yes, he's 30 and he's at PSG, but we could potentially entice him to come to the club and come back to us and play for us. And we're looking at these type of players, and we're not daydreaming. We're not actually sort of joking or kidding ourselves. There are genuine players in there, top level players that would actually come to this club and just kind of completely revive us.
Pete, I've got a quick question for you, and Bowen. Pete, a question for you both. Yeah. So, Pete, was it right that you said Gini came out and said that today?
It was in some form of interview. I don't know where the interview was, but he came out and said that today, that he wasn't happy.
Do you think there's any kind of come and get me play in there? Do you think that's been done on purpose?
I think it's 100% done on purpose. From my experience of Gini Wijnaldum, and that's just not just at Newcastle, well, PSV, Newcastle, or Liverpool, he's never been one to come out and openly talk very often. He's not one of those that likes.
No, I don't recall seeing him. No.
Whereas we know, in the past we've had Moussa Sissoko, we've had Johan Cabaye and various other players, Michel Debuchy, that like to come out and talk a lot. Like a lot of the French players like to come out and talk a lot, but Gini Wijnaldum is never that type of player. He's always very, very professional like that. So for me, I think he's coming out and saying, I think it's more of a message to PSG, saying, look, I've now got offers or options elsewhere, so I'll go and play elsewhere if you don't play me. So I think he's sending that message to Pochettino. If you brought me in here to play at PSG, if you're not going to play me, I'll go elsewhere. and he's letting people know, and he'll be letting Newcastle know. Look, every footballer across the world will be looking at Newcastle United right now. They'll be looking with interest of how this team builds. So it'll be a case of they'll be watching and seeing how we build and who we're signing. So if we do go in there and we get, for example, who I would like personally at the back, if we went out there and got someone like John Stones, who's not playing at Man City at the moment, and then we went and got Immobile, for example, who was linked to us when we first was close to selling the club. We gone and signed them in January for decent prices. Tarkowski comes in as well. Gini, when I was looking around and thinking, okay, they're signing some players here, some players I can get behind. I'll come and join you. And then you add Gini Wijnaldum to that list. That's already the spine of the team that's being built. And then what that does is encourage, flipping up, like, Gini Wijnaldum was playing with Messi not long ago. Now he's come to Newcastle. Maybe I need to be going there. And it's going to then get other players thinking about it. And that's where you start building your team. But one of the guests earlier made a good point, is we want a team to be working together. And Gini Wijnaldum is a team player. He proved that at Liverpool. He played in his whole career there in a position where he's a number 10, effectively. That's his best position. But he was playing as a number 5, basically, number 6, sitting in that defence for the whole time. And he did a job for the team. So he's a team player, and that's what we need. We need those kind of players coming in.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts, Rowan?
Wijnaldum, he's a quality player, but the only thing that questioned me about is he looking for a new payday? Like, I couldn't believe on the fact that he's on a free transfer from Liverpool. The wages he must be on must be astronomical. I would have thought probably above 200 grand, I would have thought. Because I would have thought Liverpool would be offering like around that for him to stay. But I would obviously take him back. It's just, obviously you'll be paying a transfer fee for him, and then you've got the wages, and I don't know. But obviously, if you gave me 2 options, Jonjo Shelvey or Wijnaldum, I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Hey, Rowan, sorry to interrupt you, mate, but don't forget, I don't think wages are going to be a problem now. I really don't.
Well, that's
don't
just
forget,
me trying to be like business savvy, but I mean,
of course,
Yeah,
and that's why we've had to be, haven't we? We've had to penny pinch. We've had to be careful. We've had to be, kind of cutting our cloth here and there. And that is the one good thing that we can, maybe some people may say not thank Ashley for, but the one good thing about Mike Ashley's tenure is that he ran us like a business. And financially, we're in a very good place, and we're going to reap the rewards of that now. Because even in regards to the financial fair play, we are in a position where we can spend money, and we're not a club who've been hemorrhaging money over the past few years. We're actually in a decent place where we can spend money, and we're not worried or looking over our shoulders because we've made all these huge losses in the past, because we haven't.
I've just seen someone in the chat has said he's on a reported 165,000, so that's a lot better than I was thought, so that's all right. Yeah,
I'll have that, though.
No worries. Got that in the back pocket here.
You know what, Gini? You can have 175. How about that?
But on that, I was just like, I don't want to be at the point where we are. We have to make good, good transfers. We don't want to just be spending for the sake of spending, because that's not where we are. We could do that once we get to 2 or 3 years down the line. We've got a top quality manager. We've got the squad there already, and we need them 2 superstars or whatever to get us up there. But at this point, we need to look at people like James Tarkowski. Getting for cheap instantly improves us. Jesse Lingard on the cheap instantly improves us. Look at Lee Gunn, Boubacar Kamara. He would instantly improve us. He's in his last year of contract. I think we were linked with him in the summer anyway. But if you just look at the big clubs around Europe, look at Barcelona, how many players they would want to get offloaded. The likes of Samuel Umtiti, Ousmane Dembele, Coutinho. I'm not saying we'd get them, but you just look at them and try and entice them. You look at PSG, you got Wijnaldum, you've got Leandro Paredes, who would walk into our team. And he's only played about 100 minutes, like less than Rafinha, who's a crappy midfielder from Brazil. But and then you look at Juventus, you got Ramsey. Even there's been reports that Weston McKennie might be looking to leave. Instantly improves us. I think you've just got to improve that spine because that's what makes the team great. And look, fullbacks and wide players. Apart from the left wing, we've got so many left wingers. But I think if you get the spine right, the fullbacks will improve just by having better centre backs next to them.
We're laughing at that comment, Rowan. We're laughing at that comment.
Can we get a Tuesday?
Jeff's
Oh,
just been on form
Oh,
tonight, buddy.
Jeff
It's
killed me
quality
with
that.
He's killed me with that one. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it.
Oh.
Love it, Jeff. sorry, Rowan.
Yeah, sorry, Rowan.
No,
We
no.
lost it then. We lost it.
No, it's fine. I was just like on about because I think Jamal Lewis will improve massively if he has a good spine next to him. I think Manquillo's played well this season. Obviously, going forward, is he the answer? Probably not. I think the one place on the wing we do need is we need a natural right winger because we don't have one. We have Almiron. If he wants to play on the wing, he wants to play on the left. We have Ryan Fraser, who, if we have him on the wing, he wants to play on the left. We have St. Maximin. If he wants to play on the wing, he wants to play on the left. And we have Joe Linton. If he wants to play on the wing, he wants to play on the left. Like, we don't have a right winger.
And Maxi's there every day. Every day, Maxi's there.
Yeah. If I was to give you two choices, potentially in the January, for a right winger, out of the two, which one would you choose? So the first one is Ismail Assar at Watford, and the second choice is Adama Traore at Wolves. If you had the choice between the two, who would you choose? This is for Chris and Rowan. This is for both of you.
You go first, Rowan.
Ismail Assar. Pretty easy.
Okay. Chris?
Do you know what? Like, I agree with Rowan. I'm probably going to say Sarr, but the thought of having Traore and St. Maximin.
I would have him. I would have Traore.
Oh, we'd have him. Yeah, I think I agree with you though. I think we were discussing this a few weeks back, Pete. You know about Traore. It was on the Wolves away days, and we were saying, you know, he's not young now, is he? He's what, 26, Adama Traore, and you're thinking end product. He's worked under a couple of decent managers. He's been in the Barca academy. If it's not going to happen for him. If it's going to happen for him, you'd think it would have happened by now. He'd got that big move. I don't think it's any coincidence that he was linked with the likes of Liverpool and the move never materialised. That doesn't really surprise me. As a footballer, the stature, he's got all the tools, but you wonder whether it's up here, whether that final ball, that prolific shot. You just wonder whether he's got it because the numbers aren't there. I mean, we saw, didn't we, the comparison between St. Maximin and Traore. St. Maximin's going like that. I'd say Traore is kind of up and down. Yeah. And if you look at Sarr looks a player. And Sarr's younger than 26, isn't he? I couldn't tell you how old he is, but
like
he's early 20s, isn't he?
22, 23. He's around the same age.
Yeah, and he's got a really good end product now.
Look what happened with Mane.
massively.
Look what happened with Mane when he left Southampton and went to Liverpool. He just went up a notch, and Sarr potentially could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think he'll be the next right-sided player to come from a lower down team up into a big club.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
These comments.
They're getting worse.
And then I'm trying to find a comment to see what you're laughing at.
I'm banging headache, and I just can't help but laugh, and it's making it 10 times worse. Oh god, you guys are kidding
But
me.
no, you're absolutely right, Rowan, in what you say. And Pete, great question. I thought, do you know what? I thought you were going to say, because Rich brought him up the other day, Chiesa. I thought you were going to say Chiesa.
You know what? I love Chiesa. I think he's already world class.
Yeah, I think Liverpool or someone for him.
In a year or so, for me, he's Ballon d'Or worthy. He's that good. And I think he was on loan at Juventus last season. This is his first season actually as a signed player at Juventus. I don't think they're going to release him. I think with Allegri, he's going to build a team around him. because he's the main man, not just for Juventus, but for Italy as well now. And I think it's going to take, it will take you 100, 120 million to price him out. He's not a player that I don't think that we can get right now. I think it'll be at least a couple of years, and we'd have to be in the Champions League. He's playing elite level football.
Yeah.
He has to be playing in the Champions League. No matter how much money we offer him, he's not going to come to us. But Richie was right. He's an outstanding talent. He is for me the first choice of any winger in world football currently that I would go to. He's that good. But yeah, I think we're like we've talked about. I think we're sort of in the process of building. But Rohan, I'm gonna have to leave it there because we are out of time. But you know what? I've loved you being on today. It's a really absolute pleasure you coming on to chat Newcastle with us. Please feel free to come back.
Come back next week, mate.
Right. Yeah, I will do.
No doubt in the land of Newcastle that there'll be lots more to talk about, as well as a fixture. We're back playing Premier League football again, so we'll have the fallout from the Tottenham game. So please feel free and come back and have a chat with us. All right, mate.
Yeah, cheers for having us on, lads.
No problem at all, mate. I'll give you one.
Great speaking to you.
Back in the
Great having you on, fella.
Right, cheers for that, lads.
Hopefully we see some of them on Sunday. So fingers crossed, mate. But thank you, Rohan. Top man.
Right, thank you.
I tell you what, we've had some fantastic guests tonight.
Yeah,
and
it's been superb.
Yeah, I know we were tight for time. We've ended up going over.
I know. You can't help it though, can you? Because it's just, I was saying this to the wife, she was going to me, all you do whenever you're not on shows, all you're doing is talking about Newcastle. And even when we're having our tea, you're talking about Newcastle. I'm like, yeah, but I don't think you realise how big it is. Wait till Sunday. She may as well go and lock herself away, because I for about 5 hours I'm just going to soak it all up. I'll have my new keeper down there.
It's going to be class, mate. Absolutely,
it's going to be unreal.
No, I really appreciate you dragging me along tonight, Chris. I've been struggling, not well. I've got a banging headache. I'm going to literally finish this show now and go straight back to bed. Oh my God, for God's sake. Oh, you're killing me right now.
Do you know what, Pete? Just before we end, I want to bring this comment up, mate, and I thought it was absolutely superb. It really made me smile, and it took me back a few months ago, actually, and I just thought, wow, yeah, things have moved on since then. Where is it? It was so good. Do you know what? I can't find it, but I'll say what it was. Somebody wrote in the comments about Phil Jones and went, "I'm so disappointed we're not getting Phil Jones anymore." And I was just like, wow. That was bad, that wasn't it? That link, that was bad even before the takeover. The potential of getting Phil Jones.
And you know what? If Bruce had been given the okay to sign an additional player, you could bet that it probably would have been him as well. That would have just been the worst of the worst of the worst if we'd have got that. Unfortunately, we're looking definitely significantly better than him right now. 100%. But yeah, again, thanks for carrying me along, Chris. I appreciate that. The comments are just gold dust at the moment. Honestly, everyone in the chat has been amazing. Every single one of you. So thank you all for your support. We've had some amazing guests on today. Some new guests to the show. Hopefully, will become regulars. Kieran didn't make it tonight, but we'll get him on straight away next week because we all want to hear what Kieran's got to say about the takeover, and most importantly, whether he's got lighting. So
that's the big question, isn't it? And then if we don't win on Sunday, is Kieran going to come on fuming?
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows? True. He might be. But
guys, the only one way to find out is by tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us for the celebration, the Newcastle, the NUFC Matters Newcastle celebration of our takeover. We are the richest club in the world. It's the best feeling in the world, and it's going to be one hell of a ride. So come along and join us. You guys take care. Have a great week and see you next Monday. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank
to myself again.